So I really thought I made my decision that I was leaning 80% of going back, maybe even 90% that I was leaning towards that I was going back, that I felt like, okay, I had a solid answer. But when it comes to big life decisions, you're going to constantly go back and forth between what you're sacrificing, what's worth it, and all of these things. And I share this story with you and why I've been saying this over and over every day, pretty much sharing what my thoughts are on this situation is because, so I preach a lot about having faith, trusting your intuition, along with a bunch of other things and concepts. But it's not until you're in situations that are so big, that are so grave, that determine basically the timeline that you're going to go on. Like what I talked about before, the abundant timeline is wherever you go. But going somewhere changes your lifestyle, basically. Like trusting into your intuition when it comes to day to day gets easier when you are not having all this noise in your ear. So when your intuition is telling you to write, you write because your intuition is telling you something that it needs to do. When it tells you to share a video, you share a video because you can hear that your intuition is telling you to do. When it tells you to go outside, get some sun, go ground yourself, you go outside because you can hear that your intuition is telling you to do that. So when it comes to big life decisions, like AKA moving, you'll have opinions from other people. You'll be trying to meditate, do all these things to hear your intuition, but fear, insecurities, all of these other things will creep up to make you question what is the good decision or not. So things will happen that make it possible for you to go back, but other things might happen that make you question, do I really want to go back to that? Because, for example, I know having my own space is so crucial. When I've lived with my mom in the past, before I even had kids, I was constantly moving out because I wanted my own space. And then when I had kids and being in that environment, I just didn't want to be in it because I wanted my own space. I know that I thrive when I'm in my own space. So it's like me and my mom live completely different lifestyles, and also she's very opinionated like me, get it from her. And we clash on certain things because we don't agree. And I don't want to constantly deal with hearing someone else's opinion and it triggering me, or me always having to defend my choices, right? So it's just like one of those things that I'm putting myself back in a space where I know is a trigger for me. And I like things a certain way, you know? So it's like, even though I've done all this healing, when you put yourself back into the same environment that triggered you, even if you've healed, there's a potential for you to react the same way, or not even react the same way, but for it to trigger you. And say you do react differently and you react better, that you don't act from an emotional place and lash out, right? Then it doesn't mean that you're not constantly triggered. You're not in a constant state of being triggered. So you can choose to react differently and not take it personal and whatever you need to do so that you don't react from a place where you allow what they're saying to get under your skin. But it doesn't mean that you're not in a constant state of being triggered, that person's triggering you. And they're not doing it on purpose. A lot of the times they're doing it out of a place of love, but it triggers you. So, and the environment triggers you. So you're putting yourself into that where you're going to be triggered because in hopes that because you've changed, the situation is going to be different. So for me, it's like making the decision of going back. It's like I have to put myself in that situation because I have no other choice until I get back on my feet. But can I even handle that situation for a day? Do I even want to be in that situation for a day or a month or however long it takes for me to get back on my feet? So it's like one of those things that, is the support that I'll get from my mom and the help worth being in that environment that triggers me? And these are the questions you have to ask yourself. So it's like both places do have their triggers. Like being back there, being in that environment is a trigger because day in, day out, it will be a trigger being in that place. Whereas here, it's like it has the trigger of being alone, raising the kids alone, and all the pressure being on me is a trigger because all the responsibility is on me. But because I've been doing it for 9 months now, I've learned how to deal with it and make a routine and all these things that work for me. And even if I lose my patience sometimes, I'm able to come out of it. I'm not losing my patience every 2 seconds. No. So I'm able to get out of that state of frustration and not let it overwhelm me and be in a calm state again, right? Whereas if I'm in an environment where I constantly feel triggered because I don't feel comfortable in that environment, then it's going to be a day in, hour, minute by minute trigger for me. And that's way different than the trigger of the pressure that I'm feeling right now. and being alone and whatnot, what I said before. So what it comes down to when you're trying to trust your intuition and have faith is asking yourself what sacrifice is more worth it, because having faith can work both ways. Having faith can be have faith that going there is going to be okay and you're going to make it work, or have faith that staying here you're going to make it work and it's going to be okay. But you have to ask yourself and tap into your highest self of what sacrifice is more worth it. So it's like, do I keep sacrificing not having help or support, raising the kids alone, and operating on a budget until I can figure things out? That community will come eventually, even though I don't have it right now, but sacrificing a community in the moment because I don't have it, right? So, or is it the sacrifice of having the help and support, but being in an environment where I'm triggered? So it's like you have to ask yourself, and then I could start pursuing more of my passions, like spoken word and all these things. And that's why you have to take time to really trust your intuition. And that's what it means by trusting your intuition, is that what sacrifices can you handle? What will make you triggered, and what triggers can you handle and what triggers can't you handle? What's too overwhelming and what's beneficial? Like all of these things you have to ask yourself to really dive deeper on what's the best decision for you, and if you have kids, your kids. And it's not an easy decision. So it's like, have faith, what's meant to be will be. But what's meant to be is based on the choices that you make. So if I choose to stay here, then what's meant to be will be, in the sense of community, finance, all of that stuff will work out because of the fact that I had faith and I made the decision to stay. Whereas if I go back, what's meant to be will be, whereas I might not have to stay in that environment for long. The Creator will provide for me. I'll figure it out, and I'll be in a place where I'm supported. And having faith, another thing, is trusting what your intuition is telling you. Like, it will show you red flags and signs to tell you, no, that place is not good for you. Or it will show you that you're going to struggle and struggle more if you stay here. Like, it will either get easier in one place and harder in the next, or everything will just align perfectly depending on what choices you make. But you have to trust your intuition. You have to listen to what your intuition is guiding you. So it's like, neither choice is the wrong choice. However, one choice might take me to a place where I might have to endure a little bit more, but I'll come out on top if I stay true to myself and don't fall back to an old version of me. And one place might be, yeah, I might feel alone and lonely and not have the support, but eventually, through enduring it, I will get that. So it's like, both places you have to endure different things. So when you're an unhealed person and you're not self-aware and you're not trusting your intuition and all of these things, then the choices that you make take you farther and farther away from your timeline. However, when you're a healed person and you're really tapping in and you're trying to make a decision from your highest self and from your intuition, and you're not making it based on fear and a sense of lack, then you will make the choice that's right for you in that moment. And healing is a lifelong journey. We're going to face new challenges that bring us pain and trauma and whatever, but it's about the fact that we're self-aware of it and we have the tools to overcome those situations. Resilience, determination, all of these things, all these skills, character that we've built by facing these hard situations. But when you're on the path of wanting the best for yourself and really trying to make better decisions, like, he's going to give you signs that are neon bright, either in your dreams, either physical stuff, either stuff that's going on around you, either body symptoms. All of these things he's going to give it to you because he wants to help you make the best decision, because of you trying to be better for yourself, you trying to go down the right path that stays on your abundant timeline. So he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that you see it. And even when you're on the wrong path, he's going to do everything in your power to get you back on your highest timeline.